Hiya. So last weekend, okay, my life has become a blur. It's been really kind of chaotic, which is why I'm filming this here, because I've run out of space for everything, and I'm now trying to pack for 2 different trips, and they're back to back. Like, I don't leave the airport back to back. Kind of crazy. Anyway, I finally got to go to Knit August Nights. Now, Knit August Nights is run basically by Skeins, and it's up in Napier. It's at the East Pier Hotel, and it's great. It runs for 4 days. I've wanted to go for years, and I haven't had a chance to go before. This year I got to go, and I did 2 classes, and I hung out with some people, and I had to come back early and go to a drama competition, but I'll tell you what I got. I'll tell you what I did. There was yarn purchased. Yeah, I did not need to purchase yarn. I did not need to purchase yarn at all. But I'll go over what I got anyway. First of all, goodie bag. Now, I did get the deluxe goodie bag because I did the masterclass. Now, the masterclass was limited to 15 people, and it was a whole day event. It also had dinner involved, but I didn't stay for dinner. It came with this bag. This bag has a zip, so this is a good bag. One of the reasons for filming this now is that I need to pack this bag with other stuff. Anyway, what was in the bag? A notebook. Now, we were told to bring a notebook, so I did bring a notebook, but then we got given one, so that was quite exciting. It's got lines, it's spiral bound with the nice spirals. Notebook. What else was in here? Because it's a yarn thing, we got a ball of Fantasy 12 ply in these tealy, bluey, rusty colours. This knits up really nicely. One of my new friends was knitting with it, and it's beautiful. This is a 12 ply, and we got this Fate yarn. This is a new release. I think they're both new release, and this is in the colour Sea Glass, and it is also just as lovely. I really like this colour. They go well together. I feel like I should make something together with them simply because they do go well together, but this is an 8 ply, this is a 12 ply, so I need to think about it. And also, I feel like they're saying make a hat, because there's also this mini pom-pom. But I feel like this mini pom-pom is going to be put on something that I'm currently knitting that I want to wear away on Friday. So it may not go on this, but it would go on this. That's very nice. I like the fact that this has a project. It feels like there's a project attached to it. Also in the bag, a set of buttons from Lisa F Designs. These are, I think, 5 buttons, and they just say handmade on them. They're wooden buttons. They're really nice. We could buy them there too, but being given them is nicer. A handmade tag and cat-shaped stitch marker. Now, these stitch markers were different for everybody, and that was kind of cool because it was just nice seeing different ones. I enjoyed that. What else is in the bag? Oh, the Knitter's Balm. There was a bottle of Knitter's Balm, and it was calendula, and I have put this somewhere because I've already started using it. And this is Deline NZ Knitting Patterns project bags and things. And here's the thing. It says here I may have won a prize from the stall, but I didn't take this to the stall. But I will look at her website because she sells pom-poms. And that was not all that was in that bag. There was also a couple of pins, and I have put them on my can lanyard, which is, I think, sitting in the car, to be completely honest. But that was in the bag. I'm not sure what the difference between the deluxe bag for doing the masterclass and the non-deluxe bag was. I think definitely the strap was part of it, as being deluxe. There was also a bee brooch, which was very cute. I'm just trying to see where I've put mine somewhere. I think it's sitting on a jacket. Really nice. Everybody put them on. And I think they were just in the deluxe bag as well, but I could be wrong. There was a bee brooch. deluxe bag zips, the regular bags didn't zip. Yeah, and so was it worth going? My Auntie Jo, she's been before, she said sometimes I think it's worth going just for the goodie bag alone, and I enjoyed the goodie bag. It is an expensive retreat to go to. Like, it's $100 and something just to go, but I would 100% do it again. It was the most fun I've had in a long time. Now, the first workshop I did was the masterclass with Lisa F. Designs, and we went through everything of how you start designing through to your finished project, getting your patterns published, all of that sort of thing. Some of it was just good to know information, and some of it was actually really useful information. I made this swatch. We talked a lot about the importance of fabric swatching, which does make, I know that I have got so many fabric swatching rulers somewhere in storage. My life is chaos, but it'll all come out at some point as to why my life is chaos. But, you know, it's not chaotic enough that I've stopped knitting. So this is a swatch for a really basic man vest design that I've got going on, and I'm happy with it. If nothing else, swatching this yarn here was good because I can see the different colours going on in there. I'm not a big fan of doing swatches. I'm not very good at it at all, but the importance of meeting gauge, the importance of being able to see how things knit up makes a lot of sense. Then what we were supposed to do was design a project. But I designed my project, I did my swatch, I didn't start any of that because I got sidetracked, didn't I, in working on these. These are all different various swatches of a design idea I had, and I think I've hit the nail on the head with it. It started with these, it then became this. I mean, it's worth noting that I kept changing yarns because I felt like I just wanted the change. Then love this yarn. This is Moody Hues from Skeins. Now these will start giving you the idea of what I was working on. So I have developed cable knit strawberries. This is where it's currently up to, and this is I'm almost happy with this strawberry. Almost. I think you can see some of it. I did go and buy this yarn especially so that I could do this swatch after I think I came up with what I like. I still need to write it up. I still have to work out exactly what I'm going to do with it, but I'm very happy with how my cable knit strawberries come up, and I am looking forward to writing up how to do the strawberry. The seed stitch on the inside, I'm not sure if I like it on the white, but I do like the seed stitch on this yarn here on the blue, but the bottom and the top have changed since then. So several iterations of the strawberry and a couple of ideas of projects of what I'm going to do with the strawberry once I work out vines, leaves, and the little flowers. So that's what I did on the first day, the masterclass with Lisa F, and came up with all of these swatches. And I do have an idea of what I'd like to do with my swatches at some point. While I was also in that, I sat and made tiny fish. Nobody asked me to make a pattern for a tiny fish. Nobody asked me to make a tiny fish. But I made everybody a tiny fish because it was held at an historic whaling village. So they sort of look like little whales or little fish or something, but it did mean that I could give everybody a little fish, and that made me very happy. So I sat and made a whole stack of those. I might even put a photo of my pile of fish. Honestly, I'm really sorry, Lisa, that I'm a teacher, so I am the worst kind of student to have in the class. But I loved that class, it was great. Following morning I went back. I went to Skeins in the morning. I picked up my pre-order of yarn, and then I bought more yarn because they were having a can sale. And what I did get was I got this Southlander yarn. Now I got this Southlander yarn, which is just an 8-ply double knit. I got this because I wanted to work on my strawberry swatches on white yarn to see how it goes, because to me cables always pop on a white yarn. I also got this one, which is the Fate Merino in Frost, because I quite liked the merino, no, the fate yarn that was in the bag, and this matches. And I also thought, oh, that might make a nice strawberry one to work on, but I now have that as well. I did pre-order some of these, but yeah, I got 3 of these. One is already wound up and in a project. So this is just Cascade Merino. It's a double knit, but it's a thick double knit. It's almost a worsted weight. What does it say that it is? It recommends, I don't even know. It's 100% merino wool. Yeah, it's definitely a worsted weight. It's recommending a 5 to a 6 millimeter needle or hook. No, yes, no, that's for crochet. For knitting, it's recommending a 4.5 to a 5 millimeter needle. I'm using it on a 4.5 millimeter needle at the moment, and it's going up really nicely. It's a nice bright orange. I love orange. So I got 3 of those. I do feel like I've got some of these in my pre-order bag. And then I got these 3 here, which I definitely would have got a white as well if they had white in this range, but they didn't. So this is a red, a yellow, and a green. And lo and behold, when I put them with my Southlander yarn, or even the Fate yarn, doesn't it look like a strawberry palette? This is a bit redder than it's looking in this light. Looks a bit more orange on my screen, but I'll see what happens when I look at it in editing. So I got those from Skeins. And then they opened up the trading hall, didn't they? They opened up the trading. No, I did the trade. No, did I do the trade? I'll do my second course first, and then I'll talk about what I got in the trading hall. The second course was also with Lisa. So I apologised to Lisa on arriving that she had me again. And it was from Knitting from the Inside Out was the subject of the course. I started off by not reading the instructions and making this lotus root pattern. It's almost the size of a car coaster. Then I abandoned it. Then I followed the actual instructions and have this will block to be a twisty hexagon shape, but it's quite a nice round shape. And then I started knitting the hat that came with the workshop on Knitting from the Inside Out. So it's a pointed star lace pattern on the top, and then it knits down to a hat. It's very similar to a design that she had in the Vogue hat knitting book. I'm not entirely sure that I've done the top correct, but it's fine. This here is yarn from the Woven. I had been using it for something else. I'm not entirely sure if there's enough to complete the hat, so there might be a feature brim colour. Who knows? We'll see what I do there. But this is coming up nicely. It then got put aside as soon as I realised that I needed to make something in orange. Because of course I did. Then the very good people from Good Wool Hunting were there. And I love their yarn. This is a sparkly rainbow sock yarn. So we know that sparkly rainbow socks are in my future. And someone was knitting this. So this is a Starry Night yarn based on Van Gogh's, is it Starry Night? No, this is the Cafe. This is the Cafe. And I have this hanging in my old kitchen. But it's a really nice colourway. I thought I got Starry Night, but I clearly got the Cafe. Either way, really lovely colour palette for socks. Then I got these. This is pink, yellow, not orange, sorry, yellow, lime green, turquoise and blue, because these are just Colour Lab DK, London, Britain, something, brightly coloured solids. I thoroughly liked these colours. They're brilliant. And then I was about to go to the course and get flocked, I think it is, in Christchurch. you'll see what happened. First of all, there's this, and this is one skein of American wool. It's called Vibe Jack. It's worsted weight, and they said it's enough to do the yoke of any sweater. But what got me with this one is that this one glows in the dark. It glows in the dark. So I bought that. But I also bought this. This here, it is a hand-dyed yarn. It's a sock yarn, and it's made in Ireland, and it's hedgehog fibres. And the reason why I bought this colourway, other than the fact that that's such a hot pink, is that it's called Unicorn Tears. So I will be making some Unicorn Tears socks at some point, but I think that's very cool. Alright, sorry about that, got a bit distracted there. So, this is, where did I get up to? The last thing I got was a packet of notions, bits and pieces from a company called Walnut Cottage. I picked up 2 of these, dog fur included. Well, no, the dog fur is mine. Peacock stitch markers, because I thought they were cute. They were so cheap, it was ridiculous. Like, I think I spent on all the things that I got from Walnut Cottage less than $20. This was a freebie stitch marker with just a little sheep on it that was just thrown in for everybody. I got 2 sets of these hand-shaped needle point protectors. I gave a friend a set of red ones, and I got a set of orange and pink ones. Set of star-shaped stitch markers because I thought they were cute. Like, they were $3. That's just ridiculous, isn't it? And then there were these, and I think these are genius. I haven't seen anything like it before, but I sent everybody up to get them. These are stitch markers, except they're numbered. Here, I'll pull out the orange one, because we all know that I'm going to pull out the orange one. This one's got a 25 on it. This one here's got a 75 on it. They're all acrylic. I think they had wooden ones as well. But they're for when you're doing your cast-ons. There's markers of 25, 50, 75 and 100, and 2 of each, I think, for marking off where you're up to in your counting. And honestly, genius. Am I right? Like, complete genius. Oh, cannot get over it. So at that point, I was going to have to leave and get to the one-act play, or to come home and get my kids up to the one-act play competition the following day. Except there was one more thing that I'd forgotten about. Yarn rescue. So people could drop off their skeins or balls or projects or whatever, bits and pieces that they weren't going to use. And people could buy them from the table. And they called it Yarn Rescue, so I got this. This is a beautiful skein of hand-dyed merino. It's called Golden Sunrise. It's 8-ply. It's oranges and yellows with speckles. And I'm going to have to knit something that I wear to Knit August Nights next year with this yarn. It's absolutely beautiful. I fell in love with it. I squished it every single time I walked past. Yeah, is 400 meters, 100 grams in this hank, and I love it. I squished it, I felt it up. I think nobody else bought it only because I kept touching it. It was calling my name. I do not need this. I didn't need this, but I bought it anyway, and I will knit this up for something for Cannes next year. This is woolly, hand-dyed yarn. It's an indie dyer from Napier. Originally this was a $50 skein and I got it for $30. So I'd like to say that's a bargain. Although, what am I going to make with it? I don't know. I should make a shawl. Okay, I have not finished a shawl in years. I've made several. I've never worn one. I gave a whole stack of shawls away before I moved a couple of times ago. So, you know, I've been down the shawl rabbit hole. I started the Stephen West make-along shawl project last year, didn't finish it, recast it on so many times it's not funny, I'm over halfway through the Stephen West basket weaver shawl, which I'm loving, only it's now up to like 300 stitches on the needles, so when you sit down to do a row, you need to commit to the rest of your life. So I just haven't picked it up again for a while. And I keep seeing that everybody's picking up 4 skeins of different shades for the next Stephen West one, which is the Geo something or other, Geo Gradient, Geo something, MCal, and I'm really wanting to do that. And then there's a blanket to make along, and I'm like, just finish the big blanket from the woven. That's all you have to do. Finish the big blanket, finish the basket weaver shawl, finish the twist and turn shawl. Everything will be golden. But I bought this, and I'll make something out of this. So that was my experience at Knit August Nights. Will I go again? Yes. Should I go again? Yeah. It was great. I made a lot of good friends, and I just enjoyed the little things, like sitting around and knitting. That's it. There was a lot of sitting around and knitting with people that I had met, and I enjoyed every second of that. So I will be doing more of that. Yeah. So that was my experience at Knit August Nights this year. And now I can continue putting all this stuff away so that I can pack to go on my next trip. I am considering making a video about knitting while traveling because I'm unexpectedly doing a lot of traveling in the next 2 weeks. It's kind of crazy. So in the meantime, happy knitting. It's been a wonderful couple of weeks since going to Knit August Nights, and